The U.S. government is currently creating one of the most colossal monuments in the history of the world. It's the U.S. national debt, and it threatens to literally destroy the American way of life. For decades now, this generation has been recklessly spending the money of future generations and has been convinced that they have been getting away with it. Americans have been enjoying an obscenely high standard of living, but the party's almost over, and the day of reckoning is fast approaching. It's been a great party, but it was fueled by the biggest mountain of debt in the history of the world. As many of us know, it can be extremely fun running a huge credit card bill, but it can be even more painful to pay it off. Now our national credit card bills are starting to arrive, and nobody really seems to know what to do. The U.S. national debt will forever be a lasting reminder of the greed and recklessness of this generation. The truth is that the United States is not the richest and most powerful nation in the world. Rather, we're a spoiled, bloated, greedy nation that's run up a debt so big that words simply don't do it justice. The U.S. national debt is so bizarre, it's hard to know whether to laugh or cry about it. For today, at least, we'll have some fun with it. The following are 14 facts about the U.S. government's massive debt problem. Number one, as of December 1st, 2009, the official debt of the United States was approximately $12.1 trillion. Now that's 6 months ago, 8 months ago, nearly almost at this point. To pay this $12.1 trillion debt would require approximately $40,000 from every single person living in the United States. Unbelievable. Now the U.S. Congress has approved to increase the U.S. government debt cap to $14.3 trillion, and to pay this increase off would require approximately $6,000 more from every man, woman, and child in the United States. That's $46,000 per person, per every woman, man, child in the United States. You walk through a major city, every person you see walking by you has to contribute $46,000 each to pay off this national debt. The U.S. government's debt ceiling has been raised 6 times since the beginning of 2006. So think about $1 trillion. How hard is it to spend $1 trillion? If you spent $1 every second, you would have spent $1 million in 12 days. Now at that same rate, it would take you 32 years to spend $1 billion. That's at spending $1 every second. It takes 32 years to spend $1 billion. Now, take that to $1 trillion. If you spend $1 every second of every hour of every day, it would take you more than 31,000 years to spend $1 trillion. Just amazing. When Ronald Reagan took office, the U.S. national debt was about $1 trillion. The U.S. national debt has more than doubled since the year 2000. Barack Obama's most recently proposed budget anticipates $5.08 trillion in deficits over the next 5 years. The U.S. national debt on January 1st, 1791 was just $75 million. Today, the U.S. national debt rises by that amount once per hour. That's right, $75 million per hour our national debt rises. The U.S. national debt rises at an average of approximately $3.1 billion per day. In 2010, the U.S. government is projected to issue almost as much debt as the rest of the governments in the world combined. The U.S. government has such a voracious appetite for debt that the rest of the world simply doesn't have enough money to lend us. So now the Federal Reserve is buying most U.S. debt, and the only reason they can do that is because they basically create the money to lend us out of thin air. $1 trillion $10 bills, if they were taped end to end, would wrap around the globe more than 380 times. That amount of money would still not be enough to pay off the U.S. national debt. As if all that wasn't bad enough, according to the 2008 financial report of the United States government, which is an official United States government report, the total liabilities of the United States government, including future Social Security and Medicare payments that the U.S. government is already committed to pay out, now exceeds $65 trillion. That's an official government report claiming that the total liabilities of the United States government, including future Social Security and Medicare payments, the U.S. government is already, at this point, as of last December, 8 months ago, is already committed to pay out over $65 trillion. Frightening facts, to be honest with you. All the more reason to be prepared for a coming economic collapse. Thanks for watching the video. Please subscribe and stay tuned for more videos.